girl magic, the face of a model, body like a bottle. It's that black girl magic. Black girl, hold on. Black girl magic.
Hi, hello. Welcome to Live with Love. Here we create a safe space so that we can love the way you are loving you. Please hit like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, please check out my YouTube channel, Live with Love 555. Today's topic will be, is vegan truly the best? Let's talk about veganism. Let's talk about being vegan, how I became vegan, why I became vegan, the journey, and all that good stuff. If you're joining in, please let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you. Let's go.
Black girl magic, the face of a model, body like a bottle. It's that black girl magic. Black girl, hold on. Black girl magic. Black girl magic, the face of a model, body like a bottle. It's that black girl magic. Black girl, hold on. Black girl magic.
Hello. Welcome to Live with Love. Here we create a safe space so that we can love the way you are loving you. Hello, everybody. So today's topic again will be on, is vegan truly the best? Veganism, all that good stuff. If you have any questions about veganism, please drop them down below. I would love to answer them for you. I just wanted to talk about being vegan and what exactly vegan is, because it's starting to become such a big trend, right? And I always get a little nervous when the government get involved in things and start telling us what's healthy, what we should be doing, and things like that. I've always been very leery of all the fake meat and processed meat that they put out, the Impossible burgers, the Beyond Meat, and all that good stuff, and this new lab-grown meat. Can we talk about that though? Like, lab-grown meat, like they really starting to really play in your face. And I just want people to really realize this, anything lab grown, you want to be leery of, you want to be careful, because they can add anything into that. So just be mindful of that and really pay attention. And like I always say from the very beginning, read your labels. Okay. I know we be in a rush these days. I don't know why, but I get it. You got 50 million other things to do. You got 3 or 4 jobs you got to get to. You got children. But take the time to not sit down, but when you in a grocery store, stand in that aisle and read your labels. Flip that box over, because what's on the front is not always what's in there. I have actually seen things that's advertised as being vegan, and I flip it over and it says the ingredient is milk or eggs or something that is not veganism. So take the time when you're in a grocery store. Just really take the time to be mindful and careful of the things that you are putting in your body and into your children's bodies as well. And it takes just a little bit more time in the grocery store. I know y'all be rushing out of there, but that's actually my favorite. And that's actually, what helped me reach to where I am. I'm not in a rush to harm myself or my children. So if you put it in that mindset, hopefully that will help you slow down. right? And really start to pay attention to the things that you are doing, to the things that you are exposing to yourself and your children. Start in the grocery store, because that is the biggest thing. We love to eat. Everybody likes to eat, eat, eat. Everything is advertised as eat, eat, eat. So take the time to stop, flip over that box, can, whatever, and read the ingredients. Okay. Um, if it's ingredients in there that you don't understand, look it up. For me, when I first started, my vegan journey and removing toxic chemicals from my lifestyle, if I couldn't pronounce something, I didn't want it. Like, I needed simple, oh, it's chickpeas in here. Oh, this chickpea flour. I flip it over. The only ingredient is chickpeas. Okay, bam, good to go. But when you start reading things and it's got all these ingredients in there that you can't even pronounce or don't know what it is, rule of thumb, put it back. One is too many things going on, and two, what is that? So if you don't have the time to sit down and do your research and see exactly what things are, um, put it back. Don't eat it. Why are you eating something you don't know what it is? My mom used to tell me, if you can't open it, you can't eat it. So that also stood in my head. If I didn't know what that is, I didn't want it. I didn't want to eat it, and I didn't want to feed it to my children, my son at the time. So being vegan. So what exactly is vegan? Vegan means free from meat and dairy, and that includes fish. Fish is meat. You're eating the meat of a fish. So I'm not sure where a lot of people say they're vegan, or they don't eat meat, but they eat seafood or fish. That's meat too. So I get a little confused as to why people say that they don't eat meat or they're vegan, but they eat fish. Um, so that is what vegan is: free from meat and dairy, and that's it. Okay, that don't mean it's healthy, right? Something may be labeled as vegan and it's still not healthy for you, like vegan cookies, vegan ice cream, all that good stuff. From the grocery store, at least, in my home, I make a lot of our things, our snacks and all that good stuff. And hello, Antoine. Hello. I make a lot of our stuff in home. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Sandy. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Always supporting with love. I love you so much. Um, but I make a lot of our things that we eat at the house. So if you see me or hear me posting something about, I don't know, my vegan ice cream like this weekend, nothing was in there, that was toxic to you, right? Literally, it was boiled bananas and water and coconut milk that I make. So that was the it of that. Now, whereas you go to the grocery store and you get some vegan ice cream, you're going to see way more ingredients listed in there. And that's where you want to be careful with things saying it's vegan, because vegan does not mean healthy. You can be vegan for, I don't know, 20 years and still be very unhealthy and sick, because what are you eating? What are you putting in? Goes back to in the beginning when I was talking about all this fake meat and made up meat, lab meat and all that stuff. What exactly is in there? Lab meat. Like, that's already alarming to me, and absolutely not. Me and my children cannot eat that. So, right. So no fish. I mean, you can eat fish, but don't say you're a vegan if you eat fish, you know? So you're eating the meat of the fish, right? So you're not vegan. So I'm just saying, when you start going into trying to be vegan in your transition, you'll see a lot of things advertised as being vegan, and just take the time to flip it over and read the actual ingredients and what it is. Okay. Um, so for me, whew, I was really trying to sit here and think how long I truly been vegan. It's been a while. It's been, I don't know, at least 9 years, close to 9 years we have been vegan. So I'm super knowledgeable in this, and I've been doing it for a really long time. At the time, it was just me and my son. It was my son. And yes, I had to make that transition for my son as well, because I mean, I didn't know. I had my son when I was 18 years old, you know. Um, and shortly after, I got diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome and all that stuff. So I really started to look into myself and my diet and everything that's being presented to me. Um, because in school we don't learn this stuff. You know, we're taught the food pyramid. We taught you eat this amount of this from this and this, and you do all that and you be healthy, right? But that's just not true. And especially if I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Especially if you are black, you know, a lot of things that they talk about um we can't relate. It doesn't connect with us. So you have to be careful and really, and that's when I really started to dive into like doing my research into the foods and what the things like that. So um with that being said, with my son, I hear it a lot. Yeah, I can make the transition to veganism, but my kids, it's hard. You know, I don't know. For me, it wasn't hard because I'm the type of person. If I know something is wrong or being is hurting me, I'm able to dial it off, turn it off, and keep it moving. So it doesn't take much for me to make that transition. But for my son, I kind of just literally sat him down and told him and say, "Hey, Byron, we cannot eat this no more. This is hurting you. This is hurting your body. This is hurting us. And I'm sorry, but we can't eat this no more." I literally had that conversation with him. And we sat down and we watched a lot of documentaries on Netflix, YouTube. Um, and I was kind of trying to look. A lot of the documentaries I think I watched is no longer available on YouTube, but I will list the ones that I kind of remembered. Forks Over Knives was a really, really good one. And I watched it with my son, however old he was young. What the Health, I think that one's still on Netflix. um, Cowspiracy, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead 1 and 2, and then Food Inc. Oh my gosh, I love Food Inc. If those are not still on Netflix, I highly suggest that you YouTube them or try to get a hold of them because those were awesome. Those were great series I watched, and I watched them with my son, just showing him and teaching. It was a lot of pausing and questions and talks and this and that, and he was okay with it. You know, as long as I think you want to educate them into why, especially if they're old enough to kind of understand why you're doing this. What is it doing for to their little bodies? And do you want to be a part of it? You know, and I asked him that, and I asked him that kind of all the time. So, trying to transition your children, it may be difficult or it may not, but don't forget about them. Like, you doing all this research as to why you don't want to eat meat, but you're going to feed it to your baby, the little person that you love so much. You know, I always look at that and I always think about that. You know, I see a lot of moms and whoever parents going vegan or doing this for this reason, but they still feed their children junk food. And it always be in my head like, why? You know, you are the parent. You can tell them, hey, no, no more chicken nuggets, no more snacks, no more whatever it is that you're trying to cut loose. And you have to just be firm on that because too, you teaching them as well. You teaching everything be trash and not be indulgent. Yes, you know, because you're so used to it, right? Like, you're just so used to it, and it's easily accessible. You know, I don't know. For me, I get a little lazy too. I don't be wanting to make stuff and things like that. And like, I really be wanting a salad sometime, but I don't be feeling like standing up there chopping up everything. So, you know, the junk food and the trash food is very easily accessible. Go get a bag of chips and pop it open and eat it, and bam. You know, versus standing there making a salad for 15 minutes or however long it take. So with that too, that's a good point to bring up, Antoine. In the beginning, I prepped a lot. Like I was standing up there, take one day out of the week and prep, chopping up onions, chopping up peppers. So it's already ready to go in my fridge. So it cut out the time and, for me to prepare healthy foods. Exactly. Right, Sean. Right. I don't be feeling like chopping either. So I got a little smarter and got a chopper. Like bam, bam, bam. So I cut a little piece of or rip it. I don't cut it no more. I've become so lazy. It's crazy. I ripped up the pepper, stick it in my chopper, and bam, slice it, and bam, my bell pepper is chopped. So you have to get creative. Stop with the excuses. Stop with whatever else, and just do it. Or otherwise, it'll never get done. You'll come up with some other excuse. And I just know in priority in my head is the health of me and my children. So, and that's just the only motivation I need to keep going. I know what's going on with the meats, and that was a lot of in those documentaries and books that I read all the time. It just tells you how the meat is even prepared, right? So they're pumping the animals up, the cows, chickens, or whatever, up with all these hormones and all that stuff to get them fat and ready to go way quicker than what they need to. So they're growing at extremely large rates and very fast, just so they can take them to the slaughterhouse and kill them, right? So to enjoy. And so with that being said, so whatever they're getting injected with, you better know that it's still in their system when they die, right? And now you got it in there, and whatever it is, who knows even what it is. So again, reading your labels, what is that? I'm not putting that in my body because I don't even know what it is. And then by the time it make it to your grocery store or whatever, it's been sitting, it's been thawed out, it's been refrozen, and all this goofy things that needs to be taking place for it to get to your grocery store, right? So you could just imagine, at least, I don't know, from the time the animal is dead to the time it's on your dinner plate is probably 6 months old, right? So the butcher in the store and all that good stuff has to make it look presentable and pretty and put all these herbs and salts on it to make it enjoyable so you can go home and eat it. But it's 6 months old, or it's really old and it's went through this whole drawn out process, and now you putting it in your body. And then a lot of things you learning, like a lot of this diseases and disorders that are coming about, and there are about, I'll just say it, diabetes for one. Diabetes it comes from eating meat, just how it breaks down into the body. So again, just learn and be mindful of that stuff, and I think it will come easier for you. Being vegan, I'm vegan. Like I said, I don't know. I think it's been like nine years or so. It's been a long time. And with being vegan, it's important to have your tribe. Like if you trying to go vegan and you around somebody, the fam or whatever that eats a lot of meats or whatever, it's going to be very difficult if you don't have that strong mindset. Facts. They even use red dye on the meat because the meat is really gray, right? It's gray because it's spoiled. Yes, it's spoiled and nasty. That's why too, like the animals, when the animals kill, they pray, they eat it right away. They don't let it sit and marinate and do whatever else, right? Because that's another important piece of the meat in the body is like you have to eat it right away if you're going to eat it. You don't want to be trusting it sitting around and being carried around and traveled on the back of a truck or whatever. Even organic, y'all, I don't know. I don't trust nothing from the nothing that they put out. Hey, I'm talking about being vegan. Please share your knowledge because you vegan too. Talk to us. What was I saying? Oh, if you are choosing to eat meat, just be mindful of it. I was saying organic stuff. I don't know, they grass-fed organic meat or whatever. To me, I feel like they can slap organic on anything and the companies can literally put whatever they want on their label, right? That's why it's misleading. That's why I encourage you to flip it over and read it, because they can literally say something is vegan, organic, gluten-free, whatever else, until you flip it over and get to reading and be like, well, this has gluten in it. This comes from gluten. This comes from the sheepskin, So once you start learning those ingredients, you'll be able to rattle that off as well. Just like I just sat here and was able to do that. I don't have anything in my house that's not, but you'll be able to. The more you do it, the more knowledgeable you'll get, and the more you start to research this stuff yourself. As always, I'll put it out there. I'll plant the seed, but it's up for you to water it. Do your deep research. Don't just do a Google search. In college, if I didn't learn anything in college, I learned how to do some research, right? So I encourage you all to do your research on everything that I talk about. Not just this video, but all my videos. I highly encourage you to do your own research on that stuff. But I don't trust it. I don't trust anything the government say, do this, that, and any of the nature. And I highly suggest you start to question it as well, because they do not care. That was another thing I learned, especially during nursing school. If you trust the government, if you trust the healthcare system, my gosh, do your research. They do not care about you. And I always say that. They do not care about you. They just don't. Even I love to hear it when a lot of people, they be like, I got a Black doctor and she did. You know what? If she's still telling you to take medication and pills, she do not care about you. She care about her check more than you. Okay. Because I sat in pharmacology for 2 semesters, and what I learned was that no one should be popping pills. Okay. So don't. Do your own research. Okay. There's a plant, there's some food that's going to cure you of whatever it is you got going on. You do not need a pill to be cured of anything, right? Ain't that in the Bible too? There's an herb for everything, right? You're right. And the Bible also talks about how there's certain food you shouldn't be eating, but y'all still eat it anyway, but y'all don't believe in the herbs. Like that's a little scary to me. Okay. A little contradicting. That's why I am more spiritual than I am religious. Okay. Religion keep you in a little fishbowl. Spirituality gonna open your eyes a little more. And that also comes with being vegan, eating clean and being pure. Everything starts to flow and everything starts to click. When I became vegan, I started thinking different as well. I wasn't as clogged and I wasn't as heavy and things like that too. So I don't know. Maybe that is something. Twan, I saw you. You said you're gonna go vegan one day. I hope so. I don't know. I'm not here to persuade anybody to be vegan. You do you. You do what's best for you and your family. But I will say, do your research on that. Nothing good comes from that. Okay, yeah, definitely one of the best decisions I made in this lifetime. Exactly. Me too. Mine too. And for my children. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy and glad that I was able to do that. And I didn't let anybody tell me different, for a long time. I was the only vegan in the family. My parents, they're not vegan. I did, though. I got my mom. She was vegan for a couple months. I was so happy for her. And she's going to do it again, too. All of them. I have no doubt in my mind, because they keep me going, too. They see it. They see the improvement. They see the changes. And they tell me all the time, my mom do. So you definitely feel a difference when you vegan, you clearing up your diet, of all the toxic chemicals and all that stuff. Even the things that you put in your hair, on your skin, and all that stuff, you want to start reading the labels on those things. I don't use any of that stuff. When I first started reading this stuff, I went crazy. I started making our own deodorant. I make our toothpaste stuff for my hair. At the time, my son had locks. Now I have them, but at the time, my son had locks, and the guy I was dating at the time, he had locks. I used to whip up stuff for their hair and twist their locks up. It was no using mane and tail and whatever that gel is that they use, the beeswax and all that stuff that they use. We didn't use that. That was not allowed in the house at the time. So you want to be very, very careful. I think too, going vegan, um, Word Life, seeing little ones that's been on it since birth is so beautiful. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, my son wasn't, but my daughter, she's been vegan since conception. Her dad was vegan at the time, and I am vegan. So she's been vegan. That's all she knows. But my son, we had to make that transition together. And he was young, and he was able to do it. So all those parents that be trying to say that it's hard for their kids, you know what? You have to make that executive decision. If you love and care about them so much, and as much as you say, I highly suggest you make that executive decision for your children as well. Don't, oh, they won't eat. Yes, they will. I promise you, they will not starve. Like even with my baby girl, she'll have her moments. She don't want to eat what I put in front of her. Oh, okay, well, that's cool. We're going to play and do what you're going to do, but she going to always come back to eat when she's really ready to eat, right? So it's going to be the same thing as when you're trying to transition your children. No more chicken nuggets, but here's this salad, or here's this mushroom. You have to make it fun for kids to get into it, right? So get in the kitchen and experiment. I have made little chicken nuggets out of king trumpet mushrooms. Just slice it up, and it's already round and flat. Batter it up with some chickpea flour, water, and seasoning, and fry it. Okay, bam, vegan chicken nugget. They're gonna enjoy it and love it. And the more you do it, the easier it will become. You have to be consistent, especially with children, right? Okay. What else? Oh, I do want to touch on this because I think I got sidetracked. But when you're trying to go vegan, especially starting out, have you a tribe, right? Because it's going to be difficult trying to be vegan around people that's not vegan. You may get your cravings. You may start to, I don't know, backslide a little bit or whatever it is. But having people around that's living that lifestyle is going to be very important, whether it's people you found on Facebook and you join vegan groups that give you good recipes or highly encourage you to stay on your vegan journey. Do that. If you have somebody in that in real life that is vegan, be with them. Surround, always try to connect with them. I know for me, I'm always open. If you local and you having a hard time going vegan, I'm gonna always invite you to my events, or you can come hang out. I'll show you the things that I do. We can teach you how to cook a few meals together or whatever. So that's gonna be very, very important. And your children, don't forget about, if you have children, don't forget about them. I don't know why people do that. I don't know how you do that. Have children and you're vegan, you don't use this and this, but you give it to your baby and your children. They get to use whatever. I don't understand that process. I really don't. But I'm interested in becoming vegan myself. Just been a little nervous. Okay, what's causing the nervousness? I know it's different, right? You've been eating a certain way for, I don't know, 30 some years. It could be scary, to do something different. But to me, that's even more empowering. I want to do different. I want to be different. I want to stand out. I want to go against the grain, and especially for my health. Right. I'm scared of cauliflower wings, though. I feel like, give me the mushrooms. Yeah, I'm scared of cauliflower wings too. I'm not a fan of cauliflower. I don't do cauliflower wings. I will whip up some mushroom chicken though. For sure. Can we get past the protein, please? Going vegan, a lot of people will always be like, well, where are you going to get your protein from? What about all the other minerals, right? This is just a little snippet of all the other minerals there is that make up the body, that we need in the body. Why we don't ask Well, where do you get your iron from? Where do you get your zinc from? Where do you get your magnesium from? Where do you get your calcium from? What about those minerals? Like we get so stuck on the protein, right? And I'm not sure why. I know I have had my protein check. My daughter, she definitely just had a lot of lab work done not too long ago. They never once told me my protein was low. They never said anything about my protein. So that's something to be mindful of. Like we want to start worrying about all the other minerals that you are. Hi, Wayne. I wish I had my unk on. I always, when I see you, I always think of my unk. But I got my Hygienic Conquer Root on today. It's been doing amazing things in my life these last few days. But how are you? Um, can we just get past the where the protein is when we vegan? Like, can you ask me where I get my iron from? Because like even then, a lot of times, even for me, like iron before I was anemic, very anemic. I was still eating meat too, and I was anemic. So we have to just really start to pay attention again to ourselves, learn our body, learn our health for ourselves, not health class, right? From high school or whatever else. Learn it yourself. And then you'll get a different perspective, right? So there's so many different minerals you want to be learning about and being mindful of. Yeah, you want to taste my good food? I want you to try it too. I love sharing my food. I do, I do, I do. Um, iron. Iron is like top dog. So you want to make sure you know what iron is and how your iron levels are. Oh, I wish I had my iron infused shea butter. If you don't have it, you better head over to withlovecrystals.com and get that iron shea butter, okay? Iron infused shea butter. Iron is going to be vital for the making of the blood, keeping the blood going, right? So that is an important mineral, right? There's protein. Gorillas don't even eat protein and they big as hell. I wouldn't square up with them. Right. Exactly. You see, the biggest, toughest thing, and one of the biggest, toughest things in the jungle and the wild, don't even eat that. The meat. It's the meat that you eat is just. I mean, the protein that you get from meat is just regurgitated from the vegetables that whatever animal that it came from, right? So be mindful of that. Again, do your research. Calcium is going to be important. That's going to be important for your bones and your teeth. Potassium is good for the heart and any allergies, keeping allergies under control, blood pressure regulation. Magnesium is very important for the digestive system, the kidneys, the bones, and the mineral absorption. So I think that one is like very top dog because you can eat, but if you're not absorbing any minerals from what you're eating, it's doing you no justice, right? So, and that's where magnesium is very important. And whatever else. So let's please get past the protein by being vegan. Where's the vegan being protein? Like, just, I think we've already debunked that a long time ago. And I highly suggest that you do your own research. Hello, everyone that's joining in. Please hit like, subscribe, share. Head over to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. With Love, Live with Love 555. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Drop in the comments where you guys are tuning in from as well. Engage. I love it. Yes. So protein again is yes, all that good stuff. Oh, I threw this in here. Sugar is the worst. I threw this slide in here because again, the kids. I be hearing a lot of things. I really wish we could change the narrative. Sweets, sugar, and candy does not equal kids. Does not equal children. Okay, stop that. When you see a child, the first thing you want to do is give them candy. I hate it. I hate it so bad. Don't do that. I hate it. I love the dollar store. I go to the dollar store. Me and my daughter. One of the cashiers just love her, and she always got a lollipop for her. And I always say, "Oh no, thank you. She's okay. She's good." You sure? Mm-hmm. She's never had a lollipop in her 2 years of life. She don't need it. I promise you, she don't. So we have to stop that. My daughter cannot go to certain people's house because they house I know is full of sugar, candy, and toxic foods and chemicals and all that things. She no thank you, because we have, where do we learn this from? That kids equal candy. I don't know. That's something I might dig into. Where did it start from? We gotta put it back where it came from, because if you give my children candy, I'm going to automatically assume that you don't love them and you wish to harm them. I always do that. A lot of people are like, oh, I feel bad for your kids because they can't be kids and eat candy and do this and do that. When I look at your children and I see you giving them sugar and candy and all that stuff, I always feel bad for your children too. I feel bad because sugar is the worst. Sugar is a drug, right? It takes 4 pancreas to break down sugar, and we only have 1. Mm-hmm. Sugar starves the brain of oxygen, stresses out the kidneys, liver, and the pancreas. The kidneys, liver, and the pancreas are very, very important organs of the body. If they stressed out, the body is haywire. Okay. So, shout out to Dr. Africa, Laylo Africa, for this. I got it from the book, this book right here. And if you don't have this book, get it. You see, it's one of my favorite books, full, all marked up. Get it, and read it. Get it and read it and study it for the rest of your life. I'm just kidding. But sugar is horrible. And stop giving it to the children, please, especially mine. And don't feel bad because mine don't eat it. They don't need it. If anybody is an example of that in my life, is my daughter. She's 2. She's never had candy. My son, we had to break it. Okay. Because again, I was 18 young when I had him. I didn't know. But once I knew, he couldn't have it no more. If you take my son to the store and say, go in there and a gas station, go in there and get some, he will not grab candy. He won't. He may grab some chips or something, or he won't grab candy though. Mm-mm. It's just ingrained in him. I talk to him about it. I show him things about it. When I go grocery shopping, my cart is not packed with snacks and processed foods and garbage foods to feed my children. My kids' snacks is bell peppers, fruits, blueberries. That's why, it's important to teach them you want to teach them. My son will go in the kitchen right now and grab a whole bell pepper and eat it like an apple. So will my daughter. She will eat even raw onions. She eats whatever it is because she was born into it, right? I didn't have to wash her body out and detox her and all that stuff. She was born into it. So that's all she knows. She wasn't born into eating candy. She doesn't eat candy. So again, if you give her candy, I'm going to say you don't love her, and you want to harm her. So that's just something to be mindful of, especially if you dealing with my children in particular, or again, if you have your own children and you trying to stir them away from that stuff. It's hard because sugar right there, it is a drug, right? It gives the same effect on the brain as as cocaine, right? So it's addicting, and it's hard to break, and it's hard to stop, and it's hard to shake. But if you love them, love yourself, love your children just as much, it's doable. And again, my son is a prime example of that. I thought it was cute. I still have a picture. I look back and I'd be so sad. A picture, I think he was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. I gave him a little dum-dum, and I was like, oh, he's so cute. His little fat hand can hold this little lollipop, and he was just licking away. And now I look at him like, oh, I'm so sad for him. I was destroying him even at that young age. It makes me sad. But when you know better, you tend to do better. I hope you do better at least. And stop giving yourself excuses. Stop giving your children excuses. Love on the children just as much as you want to love on yourself. And I get it. It's hard, especially like if you have a co-parent. I used to date a guy. He had children. And we used to get the children, every other weekend. And I already knew we'll go through and pick up the troop, all of them loaded up. And we knew the next stop. I knew the next stop was the store to get the frozen chicken nuggets, some candy, and sometimes he'll do pizzas, large pizza, get pizzas for them, the frozen cheese pizzas or whatever. And that went on for some time. I'm like, but I had to have a conversation with him because I thought it was weird. I thought it was strange. It's like, hey, I'm vegan, you're vegan, but when you get your children, you feed them junk. You feed them a lot of junk. Why is that? Why do you do that? Oh, and then excuses. Oh, well, when they go home back to their moms, they gonna eat whatever anyway. I get that. I do. But how about when they with us or with you, you teach them something different, right? You give their body systems a little rest. Can we do that? What do you think of that? Right? You have to be careful when you're talking about people's children because that's a sensitive topic for people. So just ease into it, ease into it. And I asked him, I said, well, what do you think of that? So eventually he came up with when he has his children that they would be vegetarian. And I just thought that was a great start. That was an awesome start. We set all his children down, and we show them videos of actually what's in these chicken nuggets that you love so much. Right? Of course they went home and their moms was mad, but my gosh, we taught them something, and I think that's gonna stick with them. It's gonna stick with them, and they're gonna learn that and going forward and remember that moment. So teach your children, no matter how old they are, just teach them, talk to them. They get it, they understand, and then consistency is going to be key too. You have to be consistent, especially with children, right? So if they see you doing it, they're gonna do it. Kids mimic what they see. You want to know what's going on in somebody's household, watch their children, because they're going to mimic what they see at home. If your kids seeing you eating a burger or ice cream or whatever, they're gonna want it too. Right? But if they see you picking up and eating a salad or a bell pepper or fruits all day long, they're gonna do it too. My daughter does anything that I do. So my gosh, I am a great example for her, if anything. Okay, because she sees me with a big old bowl of grapes or cherries or whatever, and she wants it too. She requests that because she sees her mom do it. So talk to your children, encourage your children, be an example for your children. If they seeing you do this and do that, they're gonna do it too. It's kind of like the mom that smoke and say don't smoke because it's bad for you, but I'm smoking. And then you get mad because your children got smoking problems or addictions and things like that, but they're only doing what they saw their mom do or their parents do. So just be mindful of that and be careful of that when you're trying to make the switch over into veganism, or even just throwing out like toxic chemicals in the household. Just be mindful that the kids are always watching. And don't forget about the children. I don't know what y'all be doing. I don't know. I know a couple people. I'm getting my life together. I'm a vegan and I don't eat meat, but they still feed their children meat. I don't understand it. And junk too. I don't know. I don't know. But if you are trying to switch over to veganism, the best way to do it is through detoxing. You want to detox or fast or whatever you want to call it. And don't forget to detox your children. Okay. Because however old they are, if they 9, 10, they've been eating junk food for 9, 10 years, they have to detox the body too. And they can detox too. Cake is my kryptonite. I need help. Learn to make vegan cakes. That's all I can say. Like for me, like when I was transitioning, I had to learn to make things for my son to enjoy it too. You have to get creative. This stuff was made to keep us to eat it, right? The cakes, the cookies, all that good stuff. You just have to create and change the mimic. I promise you, I bet if you do a detox, you won't be craving cakes. So detoxing is going to make your transition a lot smoother, and for your children as well. Don't forget the children. My cleansing water, aka what was it before? Detoxification. Doing some rebranding. Sorry, and we done changed up the names for a couple of my teas, but my cleansing water, aka detoxification, over at withlovecrystals.com. You can get that, and you want to take it. When you order teas from me too, guys, remember, you get a package, and that package can probably last you, I don't know, a month. And then you're gonna need more. Like consistency is key. So you're gonna want to get some more. Just that one package is not going to detox you, especially if you've been eating bad foods or toxic foods or whatever else for, I don't know, 30 plus years, and you think one little bag of herbs gonna detox you. Like we got to rethink that train of thinking. You're going to need more, and that is the whole point of it, is you're going to have to keep coming back for more. So being consistent, get that cleansing water. These herbs right here: burdock root, dandelion root and leaf, licorice root, mullein, nettle, red clover, yellow dock, sarsaparilla, the Indian, are all detoxifying herbs. If you don't want to get my detoxification or cleansing water, and you want to create your own detox blend, I highly suggest you have some of these herbs in there. You're going to detox and cleanse out that body. Don't forget the children. Don't forget the children. Don't forget the children. I feel like I always have to say that because I just really don't understand how y'all be forgetting about the children. I really, really don't. And that's sad to me because they're the next generation, right? So whatever you are teaching, whatever you are doing, please pour it back into your children. If it's some good knowledge, if it's some good things going on, because they're going to teach it to the next generation and the next generation after that, right? I have no doubt in my mind I'm going to be an amazing ancestor. The knowledge that I pour into my children and really into my daughter, because she's going to birth the next generation, is very important to me. That's why my children are 12 years apart. I had to sit down and really think about myself and my life and what I want to pass down when I have a girl. Because I knew my next baby was going to be a girl. I already said that. But it's important to really teach your children. Forget about those old ways. They no longer work. And they haven't for a long time. Teach your children. I don't care if they're 3. Teach them things that you know, because as he or she gets older, it's just gonna come very easy to them, very easy. It's just gonna rattle off. The sooner you do it, the better. Yes, pour back into your children as much as you pour into yourself. I really don't understand, I really don't get it how people forget about the children. I'm vegan, but I don't eat meat, but you bought your baby some chicken nuggets, like some chicken or whatever, shrimp Alfredo or whatever. How? That's your pride and joy. That's your baby. And you've done all this research and made the executive decision to be vegan because of XYZ, because the meat is doing this to your body. The meat is doing this, and the dairy is doing this. You don't think it's doing it to your children's body? Huh? I mean, that's just something to think about. It is. it is. It's doing the same thing. It doesn't, and probably even worse. That's a little body versus your big body. So be mindful of that. Remember that, take care of the children just as much as you take care of yourself. Yeah. That reminds me too, when I was dating a guy with all the children, I had started to pay attention to his children. The more they came over and was in my life, I noticed I never saw his children poop. Sorry if you get disgusted by that, but poop is very important. Poop can tell you what's going on in the body. So you want to pay attention to your poops. Detoxing, yes. Can you explain what detoxing is? Detoxing is cleansing the body, right? And pooping, essentially you want to poop out and get rid of, I don't know, while you're detoxing, you're going to have so many symptoms. Pooping a lot can be one, nose running, coughing up, things like that. It's literally cleansing the body of gunk and junk excess. A lot of times we get stuck on, mucus this, mucus that, but mucus is actually very important in the body. It just depends on how much, right? So the detox is going to expel that excess mucus. We have a lot of mucus. Yeah, I need to buy your cleansing water. Yeah, yes, get it. That's been like top selling since I dropped it. The cleansing water is essentially cleanses you out, um, cleanses the blood as well, because that's going to be important too. Your blood holds memory, right? So be mindful of that too. So yes, get that cleansing water. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, oh, but I was saying I had noticed his children wasn't pooping, and in particular, his son was very angry. He's a very angry little boy still to this day. Um, and that contributes to that. He's very constipated, full of poop, right? It's going to create anger. Poop is sitting in there, and it's due to a poor diet, right? He was feeding them chicken nuggets every weekend, candy, pizza, cheese pizzas all the time. And I was not seeing them use the bathroom, and that was very concerning. And that's when I brought it to his attention as well. You can't forget about the children. How are you vegan? How are we a vegan household? And your children come here, and we got to put in our freezer frozen chicken nuggets and frozen processed foods. It just didn't. It just didn't make sense to me. But I noticed that a lot of people do that. It was new to me because I didn't do it. The moment I said, "Hey, I'm going vegan," I made the executive decision. My son was going vegan too. He was the only one I had at the time, and he had to be vegan too because I didn't want to hurt his little body either. I had hurt it enough, So don't forget about your children, y'all. The more you learn, I just hope you do better. Do better. Learn and read books. Learn yourself. Learn your body. I love this book right here. If you can get this book, because it teaches you to read your face. Okay. This chart shows you exactly where organs are in the body by reading your face, right? So mine is probably like, if you look at me right now, you're gonna be like, damn girl, your kidneys and your large intestines look a little out of whack. I don't know if that's true or not, but I am also tired. I haven't been sleeping because I have something exciting rolled up my sleeve soon. But learn your body. Learning your body. Learn things that you did not learn in school, like this. Learn to read your face. This is going to be very important. And when you do that, read your children's face and see exactly where some elements are, in their body. Where was I going with that? I don't know. But learn your body. Don't let a doctor or somebody else tell you something about your body. Oh, you got this going on. You need this. You need that. Nope. You should know what's going on in your body and your children's body too. You spend a lot of time with your children. My children, when we don't usually get sick. We haven't been sick in a long time. But when they are, I know what's wrong with them. I know how to fix them and cure them and heal them right at home. I may take them to the doctor if I need to see inside the body. Like not too long ago, my daughter was diagnosed with Ricketts disease, but I knew something was wrong, by looking at her. Things started to take place. Transformation started to happen on her body and things like that. And so I took her in because I needed to see inside her body, right? I let them do lab work because I don't have a lab here in my home. I wish I did. They drew blood. That's how they was able to detect her calcium and vitamin D was low. They did ultrasound and x-rays on her little legs, her body, because her legs started she became knock-kneed. So they did. I allowed them to do that because I had to know what was going on. And so they discovered the rickets in her bones. And they wanted to keep her overnight and pump her with IVs and all that stuff. It get a little scary when you start going to the doctor. They tell you what you need to do. You want to start asking questions while you're there. Okay, if I need to do that, what happens if I don't do it? Mm-hmm. Or what's an alternative if I don't want to do this, what you asking me to do? What's the alternative? Mm-hmm. Or what is the effects of this that you're telling me? So you want to start taking back control of your life, and your body and your children's bodies, right? So, yep, they wanted to keep her. Oh, they sent in the team to tell me if she doesn't stay here, she could. They really tried to scare me, right? And they did. I dropped tears. I was sad, but I stood firm. I had my mom and my sister there with me. Absolutely not. My baby cannot stay. And they made me sign refusal of care and all this. They try to scare you, okay? But when you start listening to yourself and your body, eating pure, you start to think differently, right? And you're exposed to other people and other things, because you're always looking for the alternative, right? So nope, I stood my ground. My baby girl could not stay overnight in the hospital, and they definitely could not give her an IV of whatever it is that they wanted to give her. They wanted to give her Tums, all this stuff. And I'm just like, why are we giving a 2-year-old Tums? No, thank you. Thanks for the diagnosis. Now I'm going to go home and treat her myself. And I did. I took my baby home. I got a lot of viewers today. Hey, yes. I think WithLove is starting to capture the attention of people, and I love it. As much as I used to run from the camera, I still do. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The man behind the screen be really like, Passion, listen, today, I mean, he get mad when I say not today, but I'm getting comfortable and I'm excited. I love it. Yes. People are starting to pay attention to me and WithLove, and I love it. Where was I going? Oh, yeah, they wanted to keep my baby overnight and pump her up with all this stuff, and I said absolutely not. I took my baby home immediately and got to work. We stopped at the grocery store. I got all these fruits and vegetables that I knew that was great for calcium and vitamin D, because that's what Ricketts disease is. It's a lack of calcium and vitamin D, right? We weren't getting outside much. I was going through a rough period in my life. Poor girl had to suffer through with me. I'm sorry. But you see the effects of what you do and how it affects your children. I definitely saw that. You got to teach me how to do this. Teach you how to do what, my love? Mag, and MJ. I love it. Y'all are such a magic duo. Drink my fibroid tea every day. I eat the herbs too. And you go, girl. You go, girl. See, consistency. We talked about that. You have to be consistent. You cannot say 1 cup and done. 1 cup, oh my gosh, this did not change my life. You have to be consistent. I love that for you. Man, I sweat. I love you. I love you showing yourself. Yeah, right? You too used to push me out there too. Get out there, Passion. Okay, well, Passion's out here. But yes, Max, stay consistent with that. We're gonna get through this period of time with your fibroids and all that good stuff. We gonna get through it. We just have to be consistent, and I need your help. I have no doubt in my mind anything that I give you is going to work. But you have to be consistent and do your part. Okay, and it's going to take more than 1 cup and more than 1 bag of tea for me to get you where you need to go, because we got a lot of stuff to undo and unpack, right? We got to plan a day for the kids, yes, and the agave help. Yeah, I know. As much as I didn't want to give it to you, but one day we'll get there where you don't have to put that no sweetener in there. But I love it. You keep it up, girl. I'm so proud of you. Keep it up. I'm gonna have to wrap it up because baby girl getting a little antsy back there. But what was I saying? Study for 14 days. Oh, that's cool, Olivia, Ava. That's cool. Oh, for my daughter, I cured her. I was so proud of myself. I was so happy. But she's not my first patient. I was my first patient. That's how I know herbs work. Okay, let me go get baby girl.
Black girl magic, the face of of a model. Body like a bottle. It's that black girl magic. Black girl, hold on. Black girl magic. Black girl magic. The face of a model. Body like a bottle. It's that black girl magic. Black girl, hold on. Black girl magic. Black girl magic. The face of a model. Body like a bottle. It's that black girl magic. Black girl, hold on. Black girl magic. Black girl magic. The face of a model. Body like a bottle. It's that black girl magic. Black girl, hold on. Black girl magic.
Thank you for covering for me. But yes, this is her. I cured her. They wanted to keep her overnight, and I said no. Herbs helped. Herbs. I used the herbs to make creams, oils. I was putting it all on her every day. I was speaking over her. I was talking to her and her body. So that's going to be important too when you're trying to make a big change, like switching over to veganism. You want to speak kind to yourself. You want to give yourself grace, not excuses though. Don't get the two confused. I hear a lot of excuses from a lot of people. Give yourself grace in the moment and the time, but continue to speak into yourself. I am vegan. I'm going to be vegan. I eat healthier. I make healthy choices for myself. Get your affirmations going. And that's how you want to, are going to cure yourself or whatever it is that they say you got. And two, again, is going to help changing your mindset. If you think and believe that you're supposed to have, get your protein from meat, then you're going to always think and believe that you're supposed to get your protein from meat. But I'm going to go ahead and end it. I got to tend to this one. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Head over to my YouTube channel, Live with Love 555. If you haven't already, get your cleansing water, detoxing herbs from WithLoveCrystals.com. I love you. Bye.
Black girl magic. The face of a model. Body like a bottle.